show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When up in a bitch magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Coach, some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
Let's go! 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's 1st and 10 from the 11. Now a give, right side. McFarland. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Whether it's the toss or the pitch, you get him the ball outside the tackles on the edge. He's a tough man to bring down.
He certainly is, and it makes people wonder on the other side of the ball. Do I really want to deal with him when he gets a full head of steam? At the same time, he's also congratulating his tackle, tight end, wide receiver on that side. They gave him access to the corner and allowed him to build up that head of steam.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They're running it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Jim. Check 50. Check 50.
They'll try the left side. McFarland. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary.
54. 54 is mine. Check. Watch 54.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On the toss, Mixon. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, They have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense all day. All day. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. What? You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now. You better build on.
Now Murray. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Thomas has got it. Complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Faking the give. Now Watson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
18-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They fake the handoff. Now Murray steps away to his left. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check. Check, nickel. Kill. Watch twins.
Now Murray off play action. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Here's Sam Cook now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And the Texans first down.
Reset. 19. Mike, 58, right there. Game situation. Let's go.
Now it's Mixon running right. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
We want it. Come to my work.
To throw is Watson. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And wasn't that supposed to be a sweep?
They didn't even get to the outer third of the field. That got blown up quickly.
Normally, when you're calling a play, you're talking about that tackle made, as you said, to the outer part of the field. Ran that one down in a hurry. That's great diagnosis by the defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. They need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Watch the screen.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They toss to Mixon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 38-yard line.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. from the gun. Here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Watson, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Play fake. Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Check 4. Whip.
To throw, it's Murray. And he's going to go down again. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Chance.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 46-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Watson now from the gun. He'll throw. Going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, third and long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now. Here's Murray. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Mixon. And an alley to run. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 2nd down, McFarland. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
The tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
Yeah, baby!
Gain
Yeah!
of 3. It's 4th down.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Check, check. Fresno! 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 22, check, cover! 22, check, cover! Shift, shift! Hey, shift! Check,
Murray and company going for it on 4th. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... That's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Mixon with a first down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Tight to the right, boy. Tight to the right. Move.
Here's Watson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye, Mike Daniels, in for the sack. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. On 3rd down, Mixon. And an alley to run. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. Here's another of the Cardinal backs. This is David Johnson, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 43-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 9, Murray flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. 20! Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
That ball complete to Isabella. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Murray. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Whitney merciless. Able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step one, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if they're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Houston, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
My true the cold is chill. Storage treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah.